Hello, here's everything I watched in January of 2025. Yakomo Yamada's A Silent Voice is a deeply moving exploration of bullying, guilt, and a search for redemption. The story follows a boy who mercilessly bullied a deaf girl during elementary school. Years later, and consumed by regret and isolation from his peers, the boy seeks to make amends. What unfolds is not just a tale of an apology, but a nuanced examination of forgiveness of the self. Visually, the film is breathtaking. Koto Animation's signature style shines through with rich color palettes, fluid animation, and subtle details that convey emotions without words. The reoccurring imagery of water and the symbolic use of crossed-out faces highlight feelings of alienation and a journey back towards meaningful relationships. What sets A Silent Voice apart is its refusal to offer easy resolutions. The characters are flawed, their relationships messy and complicated, and not everything is okay at the end. While the film occasionally rushes through certain subplots and certain scenes border on melodrama, its emotional core remains incredibly strong. Adam Elliott's Mary and Max is an incredible stop-motion film that blends dark humor with heartfelt animation to tell a story of unlikely friendship. Set across two continents, it follows Mary, a lonely, insecure girl from suburban Australia, and Max, an isolated man with Asperger's syndrome living in New York City. Their correspondence, sparked by a simple letter, grows into a profound connection that spans decades, offering both characters a sense of belonging in a world that often feels indifferent to them. What sets Mary and Max apart is its raw honesty. It doesn't shy away from life's darker aspects, such as depression, anxiety, and addiction, and it handles them with sensitivity and a dark comedic wit. The characters are flawed, vulnerable, and achingly real, making their moments of connection all the more impactful. The 2024 film adaptation of Wicked brings the beloved Broadway musical to the big screen with vibrant energy and visual spectacle. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo shine as Glinda and Elphaba, delivering powerful performances that capture the heart of their characters. The film's dazzling set design, stunning costumes, and soaring renditions of iconic songs make it a feast for the senses. While the pacing feels uneven at times and some emotional beats are rushed, the film successfully balances its whimsical charm and deeper themes of identity, power, and prejudice. It's a magical, heartfelt adaptation that hits all the right notes, though has been getting a little bit too big for its boots. The Man Who Fell to Earth is a weird but interesting science fiction movie about an alien played perfectly by another alien, David Bowie, who comes to Earth looking for water for his dying planet. Bowie is perfect as the strange, lonely outsider. The movie looks cool and has some trippy, surreal sequences, but the story can be confusing and slow at times. It's not a simple watch, but if you like artsy, fun films, it's definitely worth checking out. Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence is a powerful war drama that explores the emotional and cultural tensions between British POWs and their Japanese captors during World War II. David Bowie appears again, and he shines, bringing depth to his complex character. The film's pacing can feel slow, but its intense performances and thought-provoking themes about honor, repression, and connection make it extremely memorable. The haunting score adds an emotional layer, elevating the film's somber atmosphere. It's a film that lingers on your minds, and, while not for everyone, was definitely a fun time. Atonement is a beautifully crafted, emotionally devastating film that intertwines romance, tragedy, and the heavy burden of guilt. Directed by Joe Wright and adapted from a novel, the story unfolds around a lie told by young Brianna Talis, which forever alters the lives of her sister Selena and her lover Robbie. The performances are incredible, with Keira Knightley and James McAvoy delivering a raw, heartfelt portrayal that anchors the film's emotional weight. Visually, the film is stunning, with cinematography that elevates the narrative. A standout moment is the long take during the Dunkirk evacuation scene, a breathtaking sequence that captures the chaos, horror, and beauty of war in a way few films have done. The use of color and lighting also reflects the inner turmoil of the characters, adding another layer to their emotional struggles. Nightfall is a solid noir thriller that delivers on suspense but doesn't quite rise above its genre conventions. The film follows a man who becomes entangled in a dangerous plot involving stolen money and murder, a typical setup for this type of film. The plot is intriguing, but the pacing is a bit uneven, and some characters feel extremely underdeveloped. The performances are strong, and the moody cinematography captures the dark atmosphere typical of noir, but the film lacks the sharp edge and depth of the best of the genre. While not a standout, Nightfall is engaging, if somewhat cliché. The late great David Lynch's Inland Empire is a sprawling, enigmatic odyssey into the subconscious, a film that challenges conventional narrative and defies easy interpretation. At nearly 3 hours long, it feels less like a movie and more like a fever dream in the way that all David Lynch movies tend to do. Intensely personal, bewildering, and undeniably haunting, Lynch masterfully weaves together layers of dream logic, blending past, present, and alternate realities into a kaleidoscope of fractured identity. Visually, Inland Empire is a departure from Lynch's polished aesthetic. Shot on consumer-grade digital video, the film has a grainy, homemade quality that enhances its unsettling and personal atmosphere. Lynch pushes the boundaries of storytelling as he always does, offering fragments of scenes and motifs that feel more like pieces of a puzzle than parts of a cohesive plot. Bob Fosse's Cabaret is a dazzling, seductive musical that effortlessly blends showmanship with sharp social commentary. Set in 1930s Berlin as the Nazi regime rises to power, the film follows the life of an American singer, Sally Bowles, whose exuberance and naivete offers a stark contrast to the growing darkness around her. Liza Minnelli's performance is iconic, bringing a raw vulnerability and boundless energy to her character, while Michael York's portrayal of the reserved writer Brian balances her out with a more grounded presence. The film's true brilliance lies in its juxtaposition of glitzy escapist allure with the increasingly oppressive political climate. While Cabaret is a visual and emotional powerhouse, the pacing can feel uneven at times, especially with its more dramatic shifts in tone contrasted with its musical numbers. Still, the film's ability to blend spectacle with substance, tackling themes of freedom, fear, and survival, make it a timeless classic, a mesmerizing and thought-provoking film. Legendary filmmaker Akira Kurosawa's Red Beard is a poignant and powerful exploration of compassion, morality, and the human condition. Set in 19th century Japan, the film takes place in a Japanese clinic and follows the young Dr. Noboru Yatsumoto, who is sent to work with the stern Dr. Redbeard in an impoverished community. Over time, Yatsumoto learns the depth of his mentor's compassion and the profound challenges of serving the less fortunate. The film's strength lies in its quiet yet compelling character development. Kurosawa's direction, combined with the beautiful cinematography and evocative score, creates a rich atmosphere that explores the intersection of personal ambition and selfless duty. Toshio Mifune's performance as Redbeard is a standout, delivering a role full of warmth and wisdom. Though the film's long runtime and deliberate pacing may be slow for some, its deep philosophical musings and emotional resonance makes Redbeard a rewarding and memorable experience, a meditative film from one of cinema's greatest directors. All the Beauty and the Bloodshed is a hauntingly powerful documentary that intricately weaves the life and work of artist Nan Goldin with her fight against the Sackler family and their role in the opioid epidemic. The film gives an intimate look at Goldin's personal history, her pioneering photography, and the tragic loss of friends to addiction, while highlighting her activism in holding the Sacklers accountable. The documentary is both visually striking and emotionally charged, juxtaposing Goldin's raw, vulnerable art with the stark realities of her advocacy. The director navigates these dual narratives skillfully, creating a portrait that is as much about resilience and the fight for justice as it is about the complexities of beauty and pain in Goldwyn's work. Golden's bravery in confronting her own trauma and the systemic forces that profit from it is deeply inspiring, and the film is a powerful call to action and freedom. While it occasionally delves into heavy subject matter that might be difficult for some, its unflinching honesty and cinematic beauty make All the Beauty and the Bloodshed a poignant and impactful film that everyone should give a try. Paisan is a striking humanist portrait of Italy during and after World War II, told through 6 interconnected vignettes. Each story explores different facets of the Italian experience during the war, from soldiers to civilians, as they navigate the horrors of war and the complexities of a continent in a state of violent transition. The film's realism, grounded in the Italian neorealist movement, is both raw and poignant, focusing on the lives of ordinary people facing extraordinary circumstances. The film's episodic structure provides a broad view of Italy's post-war landscape, capturing both the despair and hope that emerged during it. The acting, mostly from non-professional actors, feels deeply authentic, and Rossellini's direction emphasizes the intimate struggles of his characters with a keen sense of empathy and detail. While some stories resonate more powerfully than others, Paisan as a whole offers an interesting meditation on the universality of the human experience in times of conflict. Its stark realism and emotional depth make it a cornerstone of Italian neorealism and a compelling watch. Though its fragmented narrative may not appeal to all viewers, nevertheless, it's a beautifully crafted film with timeless themes. Magnus von Horn's The Girl with the Needle is a movie I was very interested to see, but was disappointed to watch. It delves into the complex themes of trauma and isolation set in the backdrop of post-war Copenhagen. The film centers on Caroline, played by Vic Carmen Son, whose struggles are both personal and societal. The film's slow pacing and minimalist approach emphasizes its emotional complexity, though at times the lack of clear direction can make it feel drawn out. Son's nuanced performance is very good, however, and brings Caroline's inner turmoil to life. But the overall narrative can be extremely difficult to follow, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. The use of muted colors and stark cinematography is beautiful and adds to the somber atmosphere, reinforcing the feeling of being trapped in one's own mind. While the film excels at visuals, mood, and character-driven storytelling, its abstract style and episodic nature may alienate viewers seeking a more conventional and understandable plot structure. Despite its emotional potency and thought-provoking themes, The Girl with the Needle often falters with its execution, leaving an impression that's not as fully realized as it should have been. It's a semi-engaging watch for those drawn to psychological dramas, though its fragmented storytelling and pacing greatly limits its appeal. It was a bit of a sad note to end on for this month, but I'm glad I got to see it. I've been looking at it and waiting to see when I could watch it, and I'm happy to cross it off of my list. Have a great February, and I'll see you again soon.